Hey, it's Greg Milby, Kentucky's Heartland and Kentucky's Heartland.com, sharing the stories, people, and events, powering the heartland. And really, truly, we're trying to help people in this time of quarantine. We're doing different interviews. We've had a chance to talk to some people that have done some pretty cool stuff, like Brent Gooden with Boundary Oak Distillery and how they're now producing hand sanitizer there. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is in the Milby House, we've started instituting where you've got to exercise daily. 30 minutes of exercise just to kind of get you away from everything and get your blood pumping. And really, for me, it's trying not to gain the COVID-19, the 19 pounds I don't want to gain from this when this is all said and done. So with me now is Beverly Johnson with BeFit Personal Training. Beverly, thanks for setting up a couple of cameras here so we could talk about fitness and getting people moving around. I know to you that is very, very important.
Well, thanks, Greg, for having me on here. Part of it was really super easy because there's nobody here, so so it's quiet, and we have the ability to roll through this without interruption.
So let's talk about the importance of fitness. I know exercise. There's a lot of great benefits, especially in a stressful time. Exercising will help you a lot. Can you run through why it is so important for us to exercise right now?
So, number one, keeping your body healthy is super important to not getting sick. So that's kind of step number one. Unfortunately, not everybody is there already. So trying to keep your body healthier is pretty much what any of us need to do to maybe if we get the COVID-19 to not have such bad side effects, or maybe even not to get it at all. Outside of that, we think about all the things that COVID-19 is causing. And I think stress is probably number one. So when we look at what fitness does for us and exercise does for us, number one, I would say it helps us reduce our stress levels. Because, I mean, if you go out to any grocery store and somebody's looking for toilet paper or other things and you can't get it, just this morning I witnessed, a lady at Target kind of going off on the clerk because she wanted 3 packages of wipes instead of just one, which is what they were allowing. So stress levels are really high right now.
So with that too, with you guys having to close the doors during this time because of uh, our separation, social separation, social distancing. I know a lot of people that maybe were not working out, weren't prepared for this, and now that they're wanting to start working out, it's kind of difficult to even know where to start, and that's why I know you very well, and I know that you like to start people from square one. So, how do we get somebody that hasn't been moving without hurting themselves? Because we don't need anybody going to the hospital or the doctor as well with some kind of injury like this.
Well, and of course, you might not get in, so let's not send them there. Right now we can still get outside. So if you're not doing anything, walking is probably the easiest thing for your body is to get out and walk. Then you're also getting the benefits of sunshine and fresh air. Something like that's great for the entire family. So if you have a family of people who really haven't been exercising and haven't been moving, but at least have been getting up and going to work and different things, that's a great place to start is to walk. Just get outside, and it's not raining today. I know some of the days have not been perfect, to get out and do that, but it's low impact. It's going to increase your blood flow. It's going to increase your lymph fluid flow, which is super important to help remove toxins out of your body. So I would start there to start with.
And I know it's not just the exercise, but nutrition, water intake. How important are those to get you through this period?
Well, I would say if we were going to look at all of them and we're going to give a percentage to the importance, right now I would give all three of them about 33%. Because if you're not hydrated, there's so many things that go on in your body that need hydration. And hydration is one of the things that helps dilute any type of toxin or poison that you have in your body. So anything that you're taking in from processed foods that may not be good for you, for the toxins in your house, your car, whatever else, hydration is the one way to help dilute the toxins that may be coming into your body. The food choices, I mean, you're trying to support all your organs, your glands, your energy levels, your muscle tissue. So it's kind of hard to do that if the only thing that you're taking in is processed food or fast food. So to help support your immune system, lots of vegetables, some good sources of protein, some good fats, so your nuts and avocados and olive oils and things like that. And, I'm going to say, just because it's something I would always say, the more things that you can get that are organic, if we're looking at, beef and all of that, you're looking at grass fed. I mean, you want to bring right now, it's super important to bring the least amount of toxins in your body. And I know a lot of that's a little bit more expensive, but if you go to the grocery, sometimes that's all that's left right now.
Yeah, isn't that interesting how that works out? I think a grocery store manager that at the end of the night doesn't walk through the store to find out what is left is missing the key opportunity to find out what they don't necessarily need in their grocery store, or what they need to order less of. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do some exercise here. There's somebody that's watching this that has no gym equipment at home. Um, they don't have the fancy fitness room down in the basement or in the garage. What can they do? What kind of exercises besides getting out and walking can they do?
Okay, so typically what I would do, that makes it a little bit more interesting than just doing one thing, is I always typically set stuff up in circuits. So maybe you pick out 6 different exercises, and I'll show you at least 6 so that you could go through and choose these exercises and then do circuits of, I'm going to do exercise number 1, and then I'm going to do exercise number 2, and then I'm going to do exercise number 3, and then I'm going to come back and do them again. So, with all the exercises choices that I have, I'm going to limit it to just a few for people who don't necessarily know what to do. For those people who do know what to do, then these will seem probably redundant, or if they have equipment, maybe even silly. But body weight exercises are a great way to start. So, I also brought in some things. Are you switching cameras?
I'm going to switch cameras now. This is the first. We have not had 2 remote cameras set up before, so you're breaking ground right here. So hopefully I don't mess it up.
Well, we'll give credit to Bob for that, because he's really he enjoys the technology aspects of all this. And if you had just me, we'd be on my phone, and that would be about it. And it would work, but obviously he's got it set up to where we can do a little bit more. So you tell me if I'm in the right spot for you. What I did was I picked out a couple things that people would have at home. So one's going to be a jug. So it could be a water jug, orange juice jug, milk jug. Not everybody has these because a lot of places sold out. Wipes. So we have a can of those as well. And then I also went to just basically a can. So there's some things that we can do with all of these. So Greg, I'm going to start off with your basic squat. If somebody wants to do just squats, all we're doing is going to drop down into a squat. My feet are about shoulder width apart. I'll show you to the side so that you could also see that my knees are not going out past my toes. So I'm going to go into that air squat. These could be done nice and slow with good mobility, or they can also be done with some speed to get heart rate up. So this is an empty water jug, but you can fill this up halfway, a quarter way, or all the way to get a little bit heavier weight to make it a little bit tougher. You could also use things like your wipes, same type of thing. So depending on what you may or may not have in the house, then that's going to work on your squats. So then we'll go back to another thing that we really like is deadlifts. So you can take that same jug and go into just a basic deadlift movement. These can also be done body weight. Okay, so a couple lower body exercises. If I go into, I don't know how low he's got this, a push-up. So you tell me if you can see me or not. Push-ups can be done for people who have not done them on the knees. You basically want to get the chest to the floor and the butt back out. You can also do them on the toes if you need a harder version. So you have a large body leg exercise for both front and back of the leg. You have a chest exercise. For that back exercise, this may work, a different type of jug may work, where you can fill it up and go into a row. Where now we're working our back, keeping our back in neutral. Legs are bent underneath you, supporting you, but working our large muscles in our back. We can go to things with a can. So if we look at tricep exercises, we can take an arm up and work triceps here. We can do a bent over position, triceps here. We can also go into the exercise most people like, which is a bicep curl. We want to include the upper body with lower body. We have things like a squat press. So you can take that same jug, squat, and press up to get lower body with the upper body. One for core. You can take the can of wipes, side to side, what we call a Russian twist. Okay. And then we also have a very basic, I think everybody loves. This one is our basic plank, where we want to keep our back in neutral, and we're working our core here as well. This one can be done too on the knees. So if somebody's starting out and they've never done a plank before, starting on the knees would be a great way to do it. And then you have all kinds of your calisthenics with your jumping jacks and high knees. You can always take things like that and modify them. So again, they work for you and your exercise level. How's that?
That was great. You sure you don't want Bob to do a burpee or anything like that? I mean,
Greg wants to know if you want to do a burpee, Bob.
No burpees.
He said
no burpees. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. That's how Bob rolls. All right. So, and
grab my volume.
There you go. Look at you. I mean, you're like a professional. There you go. All right. So, I think that's great. I think that's a lot of things that people can do that just to kind of get themselves moving. Is there anything else that maybe I haven't thought about to mention that we should mention in this segment?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot. We won't go into a ton of them, but sleep is huge. You know, we're all schedules. So, you know, kids maybe wanting to stay up until 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. And I know when my kids were younger, I always felt like I had to stay up until they did. So we all need about 8 hours of sleep. And right now, when we're all kind of stressing a little bit about what next, sleep is free. You know, it's something that you can do without spending another dime. So getting about 8 hours of sleep is super important.
All right. If people have questions and they wanted to find out more about BFit and maybe have a question for you, is there a way they can get a hold of you?
So there's a contact form on our BFit website, and it's b-fitpersonaltraining.com. So there's a contact form on there. We are on Facebook, several pages. So Beverly Johnson, Bob Johnson, BFit Personal Training, and our BFit Bootcamp page. I will tell you, Greg, we do want a few people to get a hold of us for sure. Bob came up with an ideal, and I think it's a great ideal for our first responders. So our policemen, firemen, people that are probably highly stressed right now more than a lot of us, that we'll send out some workouts and things to them if they want to get a hold of us, get in touch. We'll do that for them free.
I think that's a great idea. One thing that I will disagree with you is that you've given Bob too much credit for things in this video. I don't like to give Bob credit for much because we have that, that brother love-hate relationship. So next time we do one of these, try not to compliment him as much.
At all.
Okay, that's good. Beverly, thank you for the time. Thank you for the advice. Hopefully we'll help get people moving around and keep the stress levels down in their houses as we go through this quarantine period. And I thank you for walking us through the basics of how to get ourselves in a good spot physically.
You're more than welcome, Greg. And one thing that I tell myself all the time is this too shall pass. So this is a great opportunity for, maybe doing those things you haven't been doing, which is taking care of yourself, moving, eating right, and drinking water.
All right. She's Beverly Johnson, BFit Personal Training. And I'm Greg Milby, Community Storyteller. This is Kentucky's Heartland.